So today is a multitasking day. We've got bunny breeding going on. You can see that's Coco on top of Abigail, which is the way that's supposed to work. That's my boy. And I'm also working with Hunter because he is way too interested in rabbits. Down. Stay. So he is learning to relax and lay down in their presence without having to be sniffing all over the cage and super excited. So he's doing very well. I just screwed up there though. I don't know if you heard, but it was a super quick snap of my fingers. And I forgot, sometimes I use a snap, as a do what I say, but not with him. With him, the snap of fingers means the C-O-M-E word, which I cannot say right now because I don't want him to. So when I snapped my fingers there, it was my fault. I called him out of the down that he was in. So I did not punish him for that. He did exactly what I told him to do. I just didn't mean to tell him to do it. So you got to really be focused on yourself too, and be aware of what you're doing, because sometimes your actions are telling your dog one thing when in your mind you want them to do something completely different. You can tell both of the bunnies are a little nervous about his presence. Oh, there's a happy buck stomp, or a mad buck stomp, I don't know. But he does that sometimes. Now this time he got up without me telling him, so I'm going to walk him back over. I'm going to tell him, hey, come. Down. Down. Stay. Stay. Good boy. I do use a hand too. You can't see it, but this is the hand that I use for stay. This is how I tell him to stay where he is. And usually he listens. But it's really hard when there's two bunnies on the floor and he's super excited. So you can hear him whining a little bit. This is the same thing that I did with the chickens. What we would do is we'd go over to the chicken coop and he'd be all excited and psycho. And I would just make him lay down next to the chicken coop. And he would just lay there. And if he went toward him or got super excited, then he would get a quick punishment. And then he'd have to lay back down. When I say punishment, I know some people are not going to agree with this. This works for me because I have a bad back and I can't walk him very well, and I can't always be holding on to him. So I use an electric collar. I very rarely have to use it, but every once in a while, and I'll show you. This is you can see I have it on 1. I never use anything high. Down. See that butt come up? He thinks I'm not paying attention to him. Occasionally when we're outside, I will use 2 if he's far away from me, because down. Because the further away he is, the further the signal has to travel, and so it's not as strong. The only time I raise it to 3 is when he is running toward the road after a car, and that's been a long time. I haven't had to do that in a very long time. And I've never been above 3. Never. But most of the time it's on 1, and that's enough to get his attention. Yes, I have put it on my hand. I've put it on my... Down. I have put it on my hand. I've put it on... Down. Down. Thank you. I've put it on the inside of my wrist. It is a very light shock. It's, yeah, you can hardly feel it at 1. And through all his fur, a lot of times he doesn't even react to it because he can't feel it. But yeah, and like I said, I use it very rarely. I probably now have to shock him 2 or 3 times a week, maybe. But that's it. As soon as I put the collar on, he knows what's going on, and he's super attentive. And he's doing better in the house, but every once in a while we have to put the collar on to remind him that you know, of what he's supposed to be doing. Stay. Speaking of what he's supposed to be doing, there goes Coco again. Hopefully she gets bred. We are going to put them together tomorrow and Monday too, just in case, because there's a small chance that she is not, I mean, obviously she's a receptive, but if she's not fertile, then nothing will happen. So just to make sure we get that egg to drop, or the eggs to drop and fertilize, you can hear him stomping. You hear him stomping at her. He always stops as soon as I put the camera on him. Oh, there we go. There we got a stomp. Little stinker. Anyway, I think that's enough of him laying down. I'm going to let him get up and go run off some of this energy. All right. Okay. Good boy.